Also, we are also implemented in the practical way, but now you have to. So if you are a if you are a machine learning engineer or the data science, if you are a machine learning engineer or the data scientist, lastly you have to build a AI applications. So main thing, you have to build a AI applications. Okay. So what we started discussing today? We started discussing today about AI, sorry, AI versus machine learning versus deep learning. Okay, so we started discussing about this topic, AI versus machine learning versus deep learning. So if you are if you learn data science, if you are a data scientist, if you learn the machine learning, if you learn the deep learning, lastly you have to build one AI applications. Okay, lastly you have to build a AI application. AI application is able to do it can task without any human interaction. Okay, so AI app mainly done AI application is the applications which don't need human interaction. For an example, recommendation system of the Netflix. Netflix recommendation system. It automatically recommend you the same types of movie which you previously seen. Suppose for an example, if you seen an action movie continuously, then Netflix automatically recommend you another action movie. Okay, so this one is the recommendation system. So the recommendation system is an AI application. So it don't need human interaction. It's automatically suggest you your favorite movies like this. So in this way Netflix is working. So for an example, we also consider the Amazon. If you bought an iPhone from the Amazon, it automatically recommend you the headphone. Okay, these are the AI application. It don't need the human interaction. It automatically recommend you, automatically work for you. This is the main aim of the AI applications. Okay, so if you learn the AI, if you learn the ML, if you learn the DL, or lastly you have to build, or if you are a data scientist, lastly you have to build a AI applications. Main thing, you have to build a AI application. AI application don't need human interaction. The AI application is working in this way that you don't need human interaction. It automatically works. Okay, so suppose this one is the AI. Whole world is basically the AI. Okay, this one is AI. This whole thing is AI. Okay, and machine learning is a subset of AI. Machine learning is basically a subset of AI. This was this. ML is basically a subset of AI. It analyze the data, it visualize the data. Machine learning, what is the how machine learning is working? It's analyze the data, it's visualize the data, it predicted on the models built by the which models we are creating. It predicted the model. Okay, so what is the main aim of the machine learning? Machine learning is basically a subset of AI. Whole world, if whole world is a AI, then machine learning is a subset of this. And what is the purpose of the machine learning? It analyzes the data, it visualizes the data, it predicts the data. Okay, so we already know how to means visualize our data with the help of two library which already discussed about the matplotlib and the Seaborn library. Using this library you can means visualize your data. And similarly, when we started learning on the machine learning, we also know how to predict the data. Okay, how to predict the data. So from the Seaborn and with the help of the matplotlib library, we already know how to analyze the data, and then also the visualize the data. And means how do we analyze? We calculating the heat map of our data set, and also we are calculating the correlation matrix. So in this way we can analyze the data. And for visualizing the data, you can also use the matplotlib and the Seaborn library for visualizing our data. And when later on you will build your model, you can know how to predict the unknown data set. Okay, this is the main purpose of the machine learning. So if AI is a whole world, machine learning is a subset of AI. And what is the deep learning? Deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Deep learning basically a subset of machine learning. Deep learning is a subset of machine learning. What is the purpose of the deep learning? Purpose of the deep learning is mimic the human brain mimic the human brain, because when you means want to do, if you want to create any application without need of human interaction, then your application must be working like a human brain. So the main aim of the deep learning is to mimic the human brain. For mimicking the human brain, it needs a multi-layer neural network. For mimicking the human brain, it needs a multi-layer neural network. It basically, with the help of this neural network, you can train your application. With the help of the neural network, you can train your application. DL can solve many complex problems. In the lateral, when we discuss about the deep learning, it can solve many complex problems. So what is the AI application? AI application is basically an applications which when AI application is working, it don't need any human interaction. It automatically automatically working in its way. It don't need human interaction. Okay, so there is an example of the AI application like Netflix recommendation system and the Amazon recommendation system. Netflix recommendation system is, suppose you are watching any comedy movie, series of comedy movie previously, then it automatically recommend you a new comedy movie. Okay, similarly, for an example of Amazon recommendation system, if you are bought a iPhone from Amazon, it automatically recommend you a headphone. So in this way, AI applications are working. What is the ML? ML is a subset of AI. ML is a machine learning is a subset of AI. What is the purpose of machine learning? Purpose of machine learning is analyze the data, visualize the data, and predict the data. Okay, so you already know how to analyze your data with the help of the correlation matrix and the heat map. And visualizing the data, we already know about two library. That one is the matplotlib and the Seaborn library. With the help of this library, you can visualize your data. And later on, when we are discuss about how to train your model, then you can learn how to predict the data. This one is the main aim of the machine learning. And lastly, the deep learning. Deep learning is a subset of the machine learning. So what is the deep learning? Deep learning, basically main aim of the deep learning is the mimic the human brain. Okay, for mimic the human brain. For mimicking the human brain, what we need? We need a neural network. We need a neural network. Neural network which basically help us to train the AI applications. Neural network is basically help us to training the AI applications. And when later on we discuss about the deep learning, we know the deep learning solves a many complex problem. When you have a huge data set, deep learning can solve it easily. Okay, so for that reason, deep learning we need to study. Okay. So now we discussed about machine learning is also have two parts. One is supervised machine learning algorithms. Another one is unsupervised machine learning algorithm. Okay, one is supervised machine learning algorithm, another one is unsupervised machine learning algorithm. So now I will discuss about what is the supervised machine learning algorithm. Okay. So if you have a data set like this, suppose age of a person is 24. Okay, and the weight of that person is 62. Okay, and suppose this one is our data set. Okay, suppose this one is our data set. It containing one independent column and another one is dependent, one independent features and this weight is a dependent features. Suppose this one is our data set. Okay, so when you have to build, suppose you have to create a model from this. Suppose you have to create a model from this. That model can predict if you have an unknown age here. Suppose 30 age is here. So from that model, you can predict what will be the weight of that person. What will be the weight of that person. So if your dataset containing, independent features and that model is called basically a supervised learning. Okay, that model is called basically a supervised learning. If you have this kind of model, this one is our independent features and this one is our dependent features. So from this data set, if you want to build a model, so that model is called a supervised learning, because here you have to build a model from this. Suppose you have a unknown age like 30, which is not present in your data set. So from that model, you can predict what will be your weight of that person, what will be your weight of that person. This one is an example of the supervised machine learning model. So when we later on discuss about more about this, you can easily understand from this. Okay, so so how you can create a model from this. This one is your age. This x-axis if represent the age. Sorry. And this y-axis if represent the weight. Weight and these are your points. These are your data points, and from this you are creating this line, and from this you are creating this line. What is this line? This line basically represent y equals to mx plus c. M is basically the slope of this line, and c is basically the intercept. Okay, in this way you basically solve this regression problem. This one is our regression problem. This one is not a classification problem. Later on when we discuss about the classification problem, you can properly understand what is the regression and what is the classification problem. Okay, so in this way you have to solve this your regression problem. This one is, this x-axis represent the age, this y-axis represent the weight, and these are your data point. Okay, and these are your data points. So, and these are basically your predicting points. And this line is our best fit line. This line is our best fit line. So suppose when you have a new age here, from this line you can predict what will be your weight of that person. Okay, which suppose you want to predict a 30 age person weight. So from this line, suppose this point, this 30 is here, so from this line you can calculate the weight of that person. You can predict the weight of that person. Your and another important point is that always remember, regression problem, your output will be the continuous variable. Your output will be the continuous variable. Means suppose you want to predict a 38% weight, so that weight can be anything. Okay, so from this base fit line you can predict that person weight, and weight can be any value, not any particular value. The weight can be any value. That is basically called a regression problem. The regression problem output must be a continuous variable, no any particular variable, a continuous variable. Okay, and this one is basically one example of the supervised learning. Okay, and example of the supervised learning, also this one is an example of the regression problem. This one is also a regression problem, because your output is not any particular value. It can be a continuous value. So for that reason, this one is a regression problem. Okay, and another this one is a regression. Now I will give you the example of the classification problem. uh, suppose you have a data set of like this. Our for study, our for play. This one is your columns of the data set. These three your independent columns means number of hour for study, number of hour for play, number of hour for sleep, and this result will be, the result value will be like this, pass or fail. So this one is a classification problem. Okay, suppose your number of study hour is a 5 hour, number of play hour is a 2 hour, and number of sleep hour is 7 hour, then your result will be the pass. Okay, and here similarly also the data are present here, number of study hour, number of play hour, number of sleep hour, then your result will be the fail. So this one is a classification problem. So for that reason, output must be within this value, pass or fail. Okay, and but in the regression problem, your output value not to be a particular, any particular means value. This, it can be a continuous value. When your data are the continuous value, your output will be some continuous value, then that problem is called the regression problem. And in the classification problem, your output will be within these two values, like these types of categorical values. When your output will be some categorical values, that one is called the classification problem. Okay, so these three columns here present these three columns here present the independent features. These three columns are the independent features, and this one is our dependent features, because these features output basically depends on these values, so for that reason these features are the independent features, and these features are the these features is our dependent features. Okay, so so this one is basically called a classification problem. So these two are the example of your means supervised learning. When some data are present, and from these data you can predict a data, that problem, when labels of the data are the present, that data set is that model is called the supervised machine learning model. When you have some values and some results are present, from that you have to create your model. When from that you have to create your model, that model is called the supervised learning models. That model is called the supervised learning model. So if you have any question from this, means up to this, from introduction to the machine learning to the supervised model, you can ask me in your chat. what type of data we use in the classification problem. Okay. Okay, I'll explain. Okay, I can repeat the AI and the deep learning. Okay, so what types of data we use in the classification problem? So you means from your problem, basically the categorical data. Okay, basically the categorical data are present in the classification problem, where output is basically a category. Output is basically maintain a category. Suppose pass fail. These types of category. But in case of regression problem, your output value will be a continuous values. Your output value will be a continuous values. Suppose the example of the age and the weight. So it don't means the weight not be a categorical, it's a continuous. Okay. So it can be any value. Okay. But in the classification problem, your output will be a categorical values. This is the main difference between the regression problem and the classification problem. Yeah, can you explain about the supervised model again? Yeah, supervised model basically it's containing means each data containing its labels means dependent features and the independent features. Both the features when are available means when you have a unknown independent feature, you can also predict the dependent features values, or you can also predict your output from that. So that is basically called a supervised learning. When I will explain the unsupervised learning, then you can understand the difference between the supervised and the unsupervised learning. Means mainly in the unsupervised learning, there is no dependent features are present. Mainly in the unsupervised learning, there is no dependent features are present. Okay. Can you repeat the AI and the DL? Yes, obviously I can repeat. Suppose means what is the basically artificial intelligence mainly? So when you learn means you if you are a data scientist, if you are a machine, if you learn the machine learning, deep learning, lastly you have to build a AI applications. AI applications main aim of the AI application means its application will be working in its own way. It don't need any human interaction. Mainly which application you build, it's reduce the human work. It reduce the human work. Okay, means for an example, I already explained you the Netflix recommendation system. This one is an AI application. So when you means Netflix recommendation system automatically recommend you a movie. It's not need any person that person is recommend you. The recommendation system is automatically recommend you a movie. I mean, suppose you are previously watch the series of the comedy movies, then that Netflix recommendation system is recommend you a new comedy movie in your Netflix app. In this way, means the AI applications are the working. And DL basically the subset of the machine learning. DL basically the subset of the machine learning. Main aim of the DL is to mimic the human brain. Mimic the human brain. Human brain is containing the neural network. So human brain is containing the neural network. So what is the deep learning? Main aim of the deep learning is to mimic the human brain. So for that, what we need? We need also the neural network. We need a neural network for training our models. Training our models. That is the main purpose of the deep learning. So when we started solving the deep learning problem, you can understand what is the means how the deep learning are solved the critical problems. How the deep learning solve the critical problems. And another one, the main difference between the machine learning and the deep learning. In the machine learning, we need means later on you can understand, but now I am just explaining. In the machine learning, you have to means there is another step for the machine learning. That one is the feature selection and all. But in the deep learning model, it's automatically selected the features in the model and automatically predict the data. Okay, the lateral you can understand that one. So means today is the introductory means video about the all these things. But when we practically implemented the machine learning and the deep learning model, you can easily understand all these things. Anyone have any question about this part up to the supervised learning? You can ask me. Otherwise, I can start it the unsupervised machine learning model. 32% are present here, but only the 5 uh, written in the chat. You all have to write in the chat, otherwise your attendance are not marked. That no question, clear, these types of things. Okay, so so when you have a data set, which have one independent features and one dependent features, and your dependent features values are the continuous value, then you have to do the regression model. You have to create a regression model on that data set. Okay, so if your data set dependent features are the categorical values, then you have to do the classification. Then you have to create a classification model on that data set. Okay, mainly the supervised learning data set containing dependent and the independent features both. Now I will give you an example. What is the unsupervised learning? Unsupervised learning. Unsupervised machine learning models basically containing two types of model. One is the clustering and another one is the dimensionality reduction models. So one is the clustering and another one is dimensionality reduction models. Okay. Clustering algorithms. And dimensionality reduction models are basically belongs to these unsupervised learning categories. Okay, then if suppose you have a data set of these types of columns like salary, and another column you have a age. So in this data set, you don't have any dependent features. So in this data set, you don't have any dependent features. These both features are the independent features. Then you have to use the clustering model. Then you have to use the clustering model. So what is the clustering model? Clustering models basically find the similar group. Find the similar group. Okay. Suppose it basically creates the clusters. Find the similar group. Main aim of the clustering algorithm is the grouping of the features, Suppose the young age person's salary will be means similar types of salary of the young age person. So this group is belongs to that person's the young age person group, which group is belong to the young age person's group, and this person group's salary as the similar type. This group is the middle-aged person group. Their salaries are also similar type, higher than the young age person. And this one is the means older person group, which their salaries are also the similar types. So the main aim of the clustering algorithm is the grouping the similar types of features, grouping the similar types of features. Then if you suppose if you have a means salary, if unknown salary is present here, so from that salary means you can predict which group it belongs to. Oh, it's from this means cluster you can predict that if the unknown person salary is present here, so from that salary you can predict that salary belongs to that group. That group's person are containing these types of salary. Okay, so that group person are earning these types of salary. So that so we can predict the age from that way. It's not any dependent features are available here. It's basically grouping the features. This one is the main aim of the clustering algorithm. And another one is the dimensionality reduction algorithm. Suppose you have 1000 features. So it will convert, the dimensionality reduction algorithm convert the 1000 features to a 100 features. The 1000 features to a 100 features. So what is the main aim of the dimensionality reduction algorithms? Is basically reducing the values of reducing the features present in your data set. Suppose you have 1000 features, it will convert it to a 100 features. So in this way, dimensionality reduction algorithms are working. The famous dimensionality reduction algorithm is the PCA, LDA. These are present here. So in the next class, I will discuss about these algorithms. Not only the dimensionality reduction algorithm, the different classification algorithms I will discuss, and the famous classification, the regression algorithm is the linear regression algorithm. This linear regression algorithm is sometimes also working as a classification model. So I will also discuss that one. So in the next class, I will discuss the example of the regression models, the clustering models, and the also the classification models. So so these are the mainly the part of the AI. These are basically the part of the AI. Okay, so whole thing is our artificial intelligence. Machine learning is a subset of the artificial intelligence, and deep learning is subset of the machine learning model. Deep learning is a subset of the machine learning model. Machine learning and the deep learning basically have two parts. That one is the supervised learning models and the unsupervised learning models. Main difference between the supervised learning model and the unsupervised learning model is that supervised learning model basically containing two types of features, dependent features and the independent features, but unsupervised learning only containing the independent features. Okay, supervised learning and supervised learning model containing two types of model. That one is regression model, another one is the classification model. How can you understand which means your data set is you have to apply a regression model on your data set when the dependent features outputs are the continuous values, then you have to apply a regression model on your data set. If your dependent features values are the categorical values, then you have to apply the classification model on your data set. Okay, in this way you have to learn your model. After that, in this way you have to train your model. After that, when you have a unsupervised model basically don't containing any independent features, dependent features. It's only containing the dependent features. So from the dependent features, you have to create a group. You have to create a group. Main aim of the clustering algorithm is to the grouping of the similar kind of features. It's basically group the similar kind of features. Okay, this one is the unsupervised learning model. So and also another example of the unsupervised learning model is the dimensionality reduction algorithms. Dimensionality reduction algorithm is basically means when you have a 1000 of features in your data set, if you are converting that 1000 features to 100 features, then you have to apply this dimensionality reduction algorithms. Okay, this one is also another one unsupervised learning model. The famous examples of the dimensionality reduction model is the PCA and the LDA. In the next class, I will discuss about each and every example of this machine learning models. If you have any question up to this, you can ask me in your chat. I will discuss and also repeat. Yes, dimensional reduction is not clear because when in the next class, when I give you the example, you can understand. Mainly, mainly the main aim of the dimensional reduction is the reducing the number of features from your data set. If you have a 1000 features, means if you have a 1000 columns in your data set, using the dimensionality reduction method, your features number will be reduced from 1000 to 100 like this. Okay, because there is a very difficult to train your model when you have a large number of data set. So we have to reduce our number of features. So from that, you have to use the dimensional reduction algorithms. In the next class, I started discussing about the linear regression. So have you enjoying this class, this machine learning introductory class of the machine learning algorithms? And all of you, please practice the Python programming language. Okay, the Python programming language, please. Otherwise, you can't um, you can't. After machine learning, which is our next module, I think it will be a statistics. Everyone, please practice the Python programming language. Using the Colab, you can play with the Python library, which I already discussed. Please practice the Python programming language. Otherwise, practical implementation of this machine learning models and the AI is very difficult for you. In the next session, I will discuss about the linear regression, the R square and the adjusted R square, the lasso and the reed regression. These topics I will discuss in the next class.
Can I wind up the session, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you so much.